Hello students, I hope you have gone through my first video lecture on chemical reactions, in which I have told you that in a chemical reaction, reactants react to form new products. Now in this lecture we are likely to discuss what are the various types of the chemical reactions. We have told you that in a chemical reaction, what you said students? For example, if I consider a chemical reaction, you are saying that there are reactants, they form products, and new substances are produced. What happens? New substances are produced when a chemical reaction takes place. But you know, in a chemical reaction, it involves only rearrangement of the atoms, student. What is happening? For example, if I have hydrogen gas, it is reacting with chlorine gas to form HCl. Here you find, students, the number of atoms on the left hand side is always equal to the number of atoms on the right hand side in a balanced chemical reaction. What we are trying to tell you, the hydrogen atom still exists, chlorine atom still exists, but there is a bond breaking and bond formation process which takes place when a chemical reaction takes place. What we are saying, there is a bond breaking students and bond formation process which is happening. So there is no appearance or disappearance of any atoms. The number of atoms on the left hand side is always equal to number of atoms on the right hand side in a balanced chemical equation because of the law of conservation of mass. So we told you about that law of conservation of mass. So here, but we are trying to tell you that there was some bond between hydrogen and hydrogen. There was a bond between Cl and Cl, and what has happened is this bond, you can see that these bonds have got broken, and a new bond has been formed. So a chemical reaction here looks like breaking and formation of the new bonds. In ionic compounds, we will find there will be exchange of the ions. So the atoms have not disappeared or appeared, only they have changed their places. There is a rearrangement of the atoms, you can see, by using bond breaking and bond formation process. Okay, now in today's lecture, what I want to tell you is about the various types of the reactions which we come across in chemistry. What are the various types of the reactions, students? Types of the chemical reactions. First, I am talking of combination reactions. Combination reactions, student. The meaning itself is clear. There will be combination of two or more reactants or substances to form a product. What we are saying, two or more reactants or substances will combine to form a single substance or a product, which we are saying. What is happening? If I take quicklime students, this is my quicklime, formula is CaO. I add this in the water, students. Water is my liquid. What you get is lime water. So what you are getting is a compound by the combination of the two substances, and here a lot of heat is also liberated, which we call as exothermic reactions. We will explain to you what are exothermic reactions. Reactions in which a lot of heat is involved are known as exothermic reactions. So the solution will become very hot. This is my quicklime. It reacts with water. There is an addition of the two substances. Here if I say hydrogen gas reacts with chlorine gas to form HCl, student. So here what is happening? One molecule of hydrogen reacts with one molecule of chlorine to form HCl. So again two reactants are combining to form a single product. These are the examples of combination reactions. There are so many examples, student. Combustion of carbon to form CO2, Again, this is a combustion reaction in which carbon is being burnt with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Student, again, this is a very exothermic reaction. I am saying lot of heat will be liberated. Such reactions are known as exothermic reactions in which heat is evolved. Most of the combustion reaction which you are doing when in your home also, the natural gas which you are using, this liberates a lot of heat with which you cook your food, students. So here again we are seeing combination reaction. You are saying nitrogen gas reacts with hydrogen gas to form ammonia. This is very important chemical for fertilizer. You know there is a catalyst, there is a temperature and pressure, students, which we have to mention in such cases. Then this reaction takes place. Again, it's an example of combination reaction. I am saying ammonia gas reacts with HCl gas to form NH4Cl, students. This is also an example of the combination reactions. All these are the examples of the combination reactions. Two or more reactants are combining to form a single product. These reactions are called combination reactions. The next one I am talking is decomposition reaction, students. Decomposition reactions. The meaning is clear that here a single reactant or a substance will dissociate to form products which can be two or more. So what is happening, students? There are different types of decompositions: by heat decomposition, by light decomposition, by passing electric current. So we are putting it first. Thermal decomposition. Students, thermal means in the chemistry, whenever I write a word, it has a meaning, student. You have to be clear and understand it. Thermal means heat. Heat is being supplied to the, for example, KClO3 is a solid. You heat it, students. What is happening? 2 KCl plus 3 O2 gas here. This is decomposing. Students. Interesting thing, one more here, is that here heat is absorbed. So I can put the reaction like this, students. Plus heat gives 2 KClS plus 3 O2 gas, student. Always remember in chemistry, when heat is absorbed during the reaction, such reactions are known as endothermic reactions. Endothermic reactions are those, students, in which heat is absorbed. Exothermic reactions are those, students, in which heat is evolved. There are so many examples of such decomposition reactions which we want to give you, students. What are those? This is what the thermal decomposition. For example, if I take limestone, this is our limestone. You heat it, CaO plus CO2 gas. This is my mercuric oxide. You heat it and you will get 2 mercury and oxygen gas. These are all examples of thermal decomposition reactions in which heat is absorbed. Then second one I am talking of electrolytic decomposition reaction. Electrolytic decomposition. What it means? That I take a electrolyte, students, pass electric current through it by attaching a battery, electrodes, then the decomposition takes place by passing electricity. Even I can say that water liquid, when it is undergone electrolysis, students, it decomposes to give 2 hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. So here water consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. You see, hydrogen gas is obtained, oxygen gas is obtained. This is a liquid, these are gases. The properties are totally different. Hydrogen gas has different property, oxygen has different property, water has a different property, liquid. So electrolytically it is possible to do it. This is an experiment which you can do easily, students, that if I take an electrolytic cell, this is our electrolytic cell, students, and if I have water, in the water some acid is added, add acid few drops. few drops of acids are added so that the electrolysis will take place and decomposition will take place. Pure water decomposition is difficult because the ions are less. So when I will add acid like H2SO4, few drops, then there will be H ions inside this and OH ions inside this. So what we do is, you are putting two electrodes, students. Two electrodes are there. We know one is positive, one is negative. There is a battery, students. So there is a battery which we attach here, say around 6 volt. If I attach a battery, so what will happen? The electro decomposition will take place and you will be able to produce hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Remember, according to the balanced equation, 2 moles of water liquid is giving 2 moles of hydrogen gas and 1 mole of oxygen gas, or I said 2 volumes of hydrogen gas and 1 volume of oxygen gas will be produced. So the volume of hydrogen produced will be 2 times of the volume of oxygen. Important question for exam. So here we have been able to do it electrolytically. If I take NaCl, if I melt it liquid in LaCl, molten LaCl, and if I do the electrolysis, I will be able to convert it into sodium and chlorine gas. So here we are going to get chlorine and sodium. By electrolytic process, we will be able to dissociate the sodium chloride into sodium and chlorine gas, molten NaCl. So these are the examples of electrolytic processes which are used. Here we have used it to prepare sodium metal and hydrogen gas. Now third, we are talking of photochemical decomposition. Photochemical decomposition. What is that, students? We will use light energy in order to dissociate the compound. For example, if I have AgCl and if I have sunlight, it decomposes to give me silver and chlorine gas. So silver, this color will change. This is white, and this you will get the silver color will be there. A grayish type of color will be produced. There will be change in color when I will expose it to sunlight for a few hours. Similarly, I can take AgBr. These compounds I am saying, when you put in sunlight, students, they will decompose to produce silver and Br2. So here you can see that what we are getting, silver and bromine. Here we are getting silver and chloride. This is also used in black and white photography. They have been used in black and white photography. So by using sunlight or sun energy, and there are so many other reactions where we can use light energy to dissociate the compounds. These are called dissociation reactions. Now I am coming to further displacement reaction. Student, displacement. First I am talking single displacement reaction. What is the meaning of single displacement? That more active element can displace less active element from its compound. Or what is happening, students? There is a activity series which has been given. More active metal, less active metal, or more reactive elements can displace the less reactive elements from their compounds. For example, if I have a solution of copper sulfate, this is a copper sulfate solution, student. This is a blue in color, and if I put a zinc, inside this zinc, what happens, students? The blue color disappears. So here what is happening? The zinc displaces copper. Zinc is more reactive than copper. Zinc displaces copper to form zinc sulfate plus copper. So copper is grey in color and copper sulfate is blue in color, this is white in color. There is a change in color, the color becomes decolorized. Similarly, you can, if I take iron, students, if I put iron and react it with copper sulfate, what happens is iron is more reactive than copper. Iron displaces copper, and what you get is ferrous sulfate plus copper. So here you are experiencing displacement reactions. More active element will displace the less active element, students. Here, so what is happening? There is an activity series. Which says that potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, lead. This is our hydrogen. Copper, mercury, Ag and Au. This is the order in which reactivity is decreasing. Reactivity or activity is decreasing, students, decreasing. So we should learn it that sodium is more reactive than calcium, magnesium is more reactive than aluminum, zinc is more reactive than copper. Zinc will displace copper from the copper sulfate solution, iron will displace copper from copper sulfate solutions. So more the one which is above will be able to displace the element which is below in the activity series. So if I put a piece of iron, if I put a nail of iron in copper sulfate, what will happen? This is an iron nail, students. Then iron is above the series, above copper. Iron is more reactive than copper. Iron is more powerful than copper. Iron will displace copper from copper sulfate solution. Iron will displace copper from copper sulfate solution, as we have shown here, students. So iron is more active. So this will displace copper from copper sulfate, and you will see that what will happen, that the blue color will disappear, and what you will get will be a solution of ferrous sulfate and copper. These are the reactions. Similarly, you can see that hydrogen, all those metals which are above the hydrogen, they will displace hydrogen from the acids. For example, if I add zinc in H2SO4, students, this is my aqueous, then what you will get will be ZnSO4 and hydrogen gas. So zinc will displace hydrogen from H2SO4, but copper plus H2SO4, no. Copper is below the hydrogen. Copper cannot displace the hydrogen, but zinc is more powerful than hydrogen. Zinc will displace hydrogen gas. So these are the single displacement reactions which I have shown, and this is my series which we should learn, students. So more active can displace less active matter. Further, we are coming to double displacement reactions. Let us see, students, what are the double displacement reactions. What is happening? There are ionic type of compounds which have ions. So there is an interchange of ions of two substances here. For example, if I consider sodium chloride aqueous solution, student, add silver nitrate in this silver nitrate, what happens is that here you have sodium ion, chloride ions, here you have silver ions and nitrate ions, student. Sodium goes with nitrate and this chloride goes with silver. They exchange the ions. Student. So what you will get, AgCl plus NaNO3. So this is called a precipitate. Precipitation takes place. White precipitate is formed, students. White precipitate is formed when I put sodium chloride in silver nitrate. Exchange of ions takes place. So if I have barium chloride and add sodium sulfate, so what happens, student? We get barium sulfate and NaCl. So such reaction take place. This is my barium BaCl2 aqueous barium chloride. So here there is an exchange of ions taking place, student. This is our aqueous. This is a precipitate solid. This is my aqueous. A precipitate is formed. This is a precipitate. I am showing by arrow. Precipitate. Precipitate, students. Exchange of ions has taken place. If I take this barium ions, this is my chloride ion, student. Here you have sodium ions and SO4 2 minus ions. So what is happening? This is barium is going with sulfate, plus going with the negative, and this negative going with the plus, student. Exchange of ions takes place and double displacement reaction takes place. These are the examples of the double displacement reaction, and we have shown you the single displacement, double displacement reactions. There are other type of reactions which we study in this oxidation reactions. What is oxidation, students? Addition of oxygen, addition of oxygen, addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen, removal of hydrogen is called oxidation. So if I have a copper, I heat it with oxygen, students. What we get is copper oxide. What you are getting? Copper oxide, student. This is gray in color and this is black in color, student. You have to heat it. So the result of this is gray. You will get a black color compound. This is example of oxidation. Copper has been oxidized because it is an addition of the oxygen. And if I say reduction, reduction is loss of oxygen or addition of hydrogen, So if I take copper oxide and heat it with hydrogen, students, then what happens is you get copper and H2O. So here you see what is happening. Heat, on heating, the hydrogen takes away the oxygen. From this copper oxide. This is black and this is brown, gray type. So there is a change in color and hydrogen is being oxidized, copper is being reduced, this is reduced and this is oxidized. There are many examples of such reactions where oxidation and reduction takes place. Such reactions are known as redox reactions. What we call them as? Redox reactions. There is a simultaneous oxidation and reduction which takes place. So you can take, if I have ZnO, this is my solid, I react with carbon, students.